It is not a crime for white people to live in South Africa. Hey guys, welcome back again to another video. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new here, you are highly welcome. Please do well to subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you will get notified each time we upload a new video. So something has been going on for a while now. You guys know that Mr. Trump is back in the White House. Trump is back, like officially is back in the White House. He was actually inaugurated in January 2025. And since that time, he has not left the news. He has been in the news almost every day for various controversial issues. And you guys know that a lot is going on right now in the world. So Trump is just choking his mouth everywhere, trying to solve all the problem at the same time. Some of his suggestions have brought so much controversy. And today I am going to address the one that concerns Africa, one of the countries in Africa, and that is South Africa. I didn't even know they were having racial issues in South Africa. I thought it was just xenophobia. But the recent event had made me to make some research and then ask some questions that I've not asked. I have South African friends, and the only thing that I've spoken with my friends about South Africa was we talked about the xenophobia. That was during the xenophobia crisis. Another issue that I had a conversation about with my friend was about the uranium issue, because there was a day I was watching Tayo Aina, and then he talked about a place in South Africa where only white people live. I was shocked when I watched that video because I've never heard something like that in my life. So I had to ask my friend, is this true? Why is there a place in South Africa where only the white people are allowed to live? The black people do not have any, cannot go there to live or to rent a house or to buy a house. I thought that that was discriminatory. Like, how is that possible that there are places in South Africa where only the white people live? And that brings me to something I want to address about Trump presidency, Elon Musk, because there were some remarks that Elon Musk made on X, formerly Twitter. And that remarks was following President Trump's tweet, where Trump stated that in South Africa, this was when Trump was cutting all the aids that America, the sugar daddy of the world, was used to give aid to all the countries in the world, which I do not have an issue when Donald Trump said they need to cut all those aids. I do not have an issue. America should be for Americans. You know, America do not owe the world anything. From there, Trump diverted to land in South Africa. He started talking about land that in South Africa, some people are discriminated against, and that in South Africa, some people are being mistreated. And he also spoke about the government of South Africa making policies that are against some races in South Africa. I did not even have to think twice. I already know that it must be the white people. But then I asked myself again, Orania has been existing for God knows how when. It has been existing for a very long time, because for me to know about it just last year, it means that it has existed for a very long time. Do you know how many years it will take for a place to be like a mini country inside a country? South Africa is a country of its own, and then Orania is there as a mini country. They have their own currency. They have everything that is a country have. So how is Trump trying to make it look like white people are being oppressed in South Africa? Meanwhile, it's the white people that have their own special country inside South Africa, inside a country like South Africa. White people have their own mini country there. It is not a crime for white people to live in South Africa. It is not a crime at all. And it is not a crime for white people to be from South Africa. Do you get it? It's not a crime, because many of them, it was their ancestors that whatever that is in the time of apartheid, it was their ancestors that committed the crime per se, not them. So they are also victims of circumstances. So of course, their being in South Africa is no problem. Their being people of, that is citizens of South Africa, is not a problem at all. I do not have an issue with that. But then Trump trying to insinuate that people, that is white people, are being treated unfairly in South Africa was what got me really, like, I had to call my friend and ask her, what is going on. The president of America said that white people are, even though Trump did not mention white people, but I knew that it was white people that Trump was talking about, because Trump cannot say that some races are being oppressed in South Africa when the race is black people. Trump cannot say that. And the way and the manner that he put the tweet, you would know that Trump was talking about the white people. So I had to call my friend and I was like, what is really going on? Is there a crisis in South Africa of recent? And my friend said that government made some law. There were some law that government they are proposed. He said the law has not taken, that he has not started though. It has not gone into effect, but government plan to make a law because 70% of land in South Africa are owned by the white people. They are owned by the non-black people in South Africa, guys. 70% of the land is owned by the white people. I was having this discussion with my friend, and before you knew it, I got a notification from Elon Musk, and he says something. No, I think South African president had to reply Donald Trump, and after replying Donald Trump, Elon Musk had to reply to South African president and ask him why he's being a racist or why he's trying to oppress white people in South Africa. So while I was having that conversation with my friend, these tweets were going on, and then my friend told me that the South Africa, the blacks of South Africa are being marginalized in a way. He said it is not official marginalization, but the result of the apartheid, that is things that were there during the time of apartheid, those things were allowed to continue. Like there are problems that were not resolved, things that during the apartheid, the struggle to end the apartheid, those things, they were not able to resolve those things. And that was what the generations of those people that colonized South Africa, those people that committed the apartheid, the generations of those people continued in that same path of owning 70% of land of South Africa. So the government want to make things to balance so that it will not be as if they are subjugating the black people. Which, to be honest with you guys, I do not see a problem with that. The reason I said I do not see a problem with that is that in a country, you cannot come into a country, or you cannot in your country, one race will own 70% of the land. And in that land, mind you guys, in that land, it's not like your ancestors are indigenous to that land. I saw some protests because Trump was offering the white South Africans, American citizen, they should come to America and seek asylum. That was good gesture from Donald Trump. Then I saw some protest banners where they wrote that Donald Trump should recognize them as a country. And when he said Donald Trump should recognize them as a country, my mind just went straight to Orania, because my friend told me when I asked her about the Orania, she told me that in that Orania, many of them were agitating for a country, like a separate country from South Africa, because they are not happy to be in the same country as the blacks of South Africa. They wanted a country of their own. So back to the protest placard that I saw, one of them wrote, "Recognize us as a country the way you recognized Israel." And I was asking myself, do these people actually know the reason why Israel had to be recognized as a country? Do they know the reason? Do they think that their situation and that of the Jews or the Hebrews are the same? It is not the same situation. The circumstances is not the same. Reason is because Israel, the Hebrew people, the Jewish people are indigenous to Middle East. These people are indigenous to the land of Israel. They are indigenous to their land. But because of the crisis and the empires that controlled that land for very long, Jews were treated badly, and many of them were exiled. So many of them left, while the ones that could endure stayed there and was enduring. So when the Nazi Germany happened, and then they started chasing the Jews again from Europe, Jews had to go back to their ancestral land, because that's actually where they come from. So why South Africans cannot say that the government of Donald Trump should recognize them as a country when they are not indigenous to South Africa? It is not the same thing. You are not the same. It's not the same situation with you and Israel. It is not the same situation. Jews are indigenous to their land. You, on the other hand, your ancestry did not come from South Africa. Your ancestors were colonizers. Your ancestors were the ones that committed the apartheid. They were the ones that was responsible for the discrimination in South Africa. So you cannot compare yourself to Israel. It is not the same thing. And all these years, all these decades that the white people own 70% of the land, why did you people not protest? Because you were supposed to protest since you like human rights. I do not like people that claim to know human rights or fairness, but you only do that when it affects you. But when you are gaining from it, you will not speak against it. But when other people are gaining from it, or about to gain from it, that's when you start speaking up and pretend to care about humanity. Do you know what it means that in a country with much bigger and larger black population, a black country that is indigenous to black people, the indigenous people of that land own just a little fraction of the land, little percent of the land? Why the few, that is the minority that came in through apartheid, own like 70% of the land? My friend was just telling me all these things and I was shocked. I was shocked. I did not know. I did not have an idea. I've always known that South Africa is xenophobic against Africans, but I did not know that they have issues like this with the white people as well. So why would you be comfortable in a country where the larger percentage of the black people who are indigenous to the land own just a small portion of the land in the country? That is injustice. That is real injustice. So Elon Musk and Trump that are trying to be the savior of the white South Africans in South Africa, if they really want to do the right thing, what they should do is to make the equation balance. If they care about fairness, they should make things balance. If the white South Africans claim the land were passed on from their ancestors were colonizers. So if the land were passed down from your ancestors, that does not mean that you should continue with that part of your ancestors. It is not right. It is not good. It's not fair. And now you people are trying to pretend like you are the victim. You are not a victim. You are not the victim, please. You are not. And the fact that the law itself has not even gone in effect, it has not even gone into effect. And people are crying victim already. You are not a victim. At least not yet. You are not a victim. Let's be honest. And this is something that every Africans need to speak. We need to stand by South Africa. We need to stand by them. When they do the one that is wrong, we'll call them out, just like they call all of us out when we do anything that is wrong. If you love someone, you have to tell the person the truth. You have to stand by that person when the person is on the right path. But when the person is not on the right path, you have to call the person out. That's how you should be. Though I saw a video of Julius Malema where he was saying that, I cannot play the video here because, to be honest with you guys, that video was in a very bad taste. Like, that video is not good at all because it was literally calling for ethnic cleansing. And that is a crime. It was literally calling for ethnic cleansing of the white people in South Africa. And that is a crime. He should never have said the things that he said in that video. The things that I heard in that video, he should never have said them. Because now, they are using that video as a justification to claim that white people are being genocided in South Africa. When? How? How? Or that white people are being oppressed. They are not being oppressed. The economy of South Africa is in their hands. The land of South Africa, they own the biggest percentage of it. People that own the biggest percentage of land and the economy, how are they being oppressed? I want to understand. How else are they being oppressed? So what I am saying here in essence is that if you are fighting for justice, fight for justice at all times. Don't only fight for justice when it affects you. Speak up. Yoruba will say Sorosoke. Speak up. Speak up. Speak against injustice. And Africans, we need to stand behind South Africa. In this particular one, we need to stand by them. Nobody should oppress anybody. not the whites of South Africa, not the blacks of South Africa. Nobody should oppress anybody. Let everything play out fairly. Let it be a level ground for everybody. Don't treat anybody specially. Don't be biased towards another race or another tribe. We can all coexist in peace. We can all coexist. This world is too fragile. A lot of things are happening. Let's not start another crisis in Africa. We already have enough. Look at what is happening in Congo. Look at Sudan. Or is it Eritrea? Look at the countries, or even Nigeria. Look at Nigeria. Even though Nigeria is not officially at war, but Nigeria is fighting war. War. So let us not allow another crisis to start in South Africa. We should all speak truth and call out whoever that is in the wrong. Elon Musk and Trump, me personally, I do not know what you guys see, but from the things that we have seen, the things that have been told, and the things that are on the table right now, nobody is oppressing the white South Africans. Nobody is trying to eradicate them. Please, let peace be in Africa. Let us have peace, I beg. The world needs peace. Enough of the wars, enough of the conflicts. You need peace. And do not try to take things that are not your own. Because Elon Musk looks like Elon Musk will want the government to leave the white South Africans to just take all the land. No, now, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Let it be a level playing field for everybody. Do not oppress this person. Do not oppress this person. That is all I have to say in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.